Well, ladies and gentlemen, 2022 is almost over, and with that, I think it's time for some reflection. We're going to reflect about this draft class the Cowboys had for 2022, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that, and, some crow you'll hear from me with some of these guys, and, what were my thoughts initially coming out and where they're at now. And I'm going to be providing a letter grade for each one of these guys. So if you wish to participate down in the comments section below, by all means, comment your grades on each one of these draft picks that we're going to go over. And on top of that, while you're down there, hit the like button. If you're new, by all means, hit the big red button there and also subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you want to support the channel further, hit the join button. You can be a channel member, support the channel on a monthly basis, and it would be greatly appreciated. So look. Start things off, we, of course, have Tyler Smith. Now, Tyler Smith, when he came out of Tulsa, I think a lot of us were a bit caught off guard because of the fact that we didn't really have a whole lot of film on him. Now, I got a chance to get a gander at him, but I felt like he wasn't someone the Cowboys were targeting until draft day came around. And I really felt like he was a second-round pick, but he had the talent to be a really damn good guard in the league. That was my initial expectation. And I think what worried me was that with him playing tackle, and I was like, okay, you're going to have to play the guy at guard. But then as the season progressed, what I was worried about was they were going to just have him on the bench. A first-round pick on the bench. Like, nah, we ain't doing that, man. But fate had an interesting course with Tyler. He started so far all these games at left tackle, knock on wood, hoping that nothing bad happens, and he's going to be reinserted at left guard at some point because of the interesting story about how Tyron Smith is now on his way back. So what would I give Tyler Smith grade-wise? Well, given the circumstances and given the level of play, I would give it a solid B, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that you look what Tyler Smith went into, and you look at the film, and at tackle, for first year left tackle, the role of that, I mean, man, he had his highlights, he had his lowlights, and I think that that's going to be something that will get better. The guy was drafted at 20 years old, I believe, and so to have a guy that young is really damn impressive if you're Dallas. Meanwhile, you look at the rest of the line, and I think that he gives you position flex on the left side, so if you want to move him at guard, you can, but I think the Cowboys' long-term plans are to have him at left guard, or at left tackle, excuse me, but they'll play him at left guard moving forward once Tyron returns, so B for Tyler Smith. Next is Sam Williams. Now, I wasn't really the biggest fan of the Sam Williams pick because, again, I felt like it was a reach with where you selected him at. I felt like he was a third-round pick. But there was a reason Dan Quinn liked him, and I'm glad I was wrong there. I think that with Sam Williams, for the limited time that he's had, he's really shown up and shown out as the season is going on. And I think he's just going to continue to get better. You have a guy that was looked at by some analysts as the Randy Gregory replacement, even though technically Dorrance was supposed to be that. But that's besides the point. I mean, when Sam Williams has had the time to shine, he's really looked real damn good, and I think he's going to get better as he gets further and further acclimated into the league. So I'm really appreciative of him being here. I'm glad that I was wrong. I'm going to give him a B+, all things considered. I think that the volume of snaps that he has isn't sufficient to go to an A or higher. But, again, that's right now. Like, for all we know, the guy keeps continuing to get better. But I really love what Sam Williams has done, and he's only going to get better. And I think that he kind of gives you an out when Dorrance's contract is done. Because remember, Dorrance has a 2-year contract, so there's that. Next, we have the third-round pick in Jalen Tolbert. Now, it was going to be between him and David Bell, if I remember what sources were saying. And I was pretty high on the Jalen Tolbert pick. I think that value-wise, you got him in a steal-like situation. But, oh my God, dude, Jalen Tolbert's just been horrific, man. He's had done, well, and it's not really the fault that he's not on the field. I mean, there are just people that have been doing better than him. But still, man, like, don't let him lie to you. They were going to try and give him the Amari Cooper replacement type of situation. And if I'm being real, Jalen Tolbert, I would grade as a F right now. I think that he has shown no effort, no awareness. He's shown nothing right now. Now, there are some tools there that we saw in the preseason, but it's an F because he's done nothing yet. And that can change. I'm not trying to say that he's going to be an F moving forward. Like, that's just where we're at. Like, he's done nothing of significance for the team. In fact, what he lined up false start, or offsides on offense in a fucking overtime game. Give me a damn break. So Jalen Tolbert's an F. Jake Ferguson, I love this pick. When he got selected by the Cowboys, I really loved the selection because I felt like it was the perfect value for a guy of his caliber. And, I mean, it showed the Cowboys have a type. I felt like he was going to be the Dalton Schultz replacement because, remember, Dalton Schultz got taken in the 4th round, too. And Jake Ferguson looks like he has a higher ceiling than Dalton Schultz, which is crazy to say. I mean, Jake Ferguson, I'm going to give that a solid A. I mean, I'm not going to give an A+ yet because we haven't really seen him in a starting, well, we've seen him in a starting role time to time, but it really feels like he's just part of this rotation. And I think that him and Peyton Hendershot, which again, I'm not going to talk about most of the undrafted free agents, but him and Peyton Hendershot are going to be what we believed Schultz and what's his name, Blake Jarwin were going to be. So I love Jake Ferguson. I think he's done a great job. I really wish he kept 48. I think that would have been amazing. But, oh well, I like the number 40s on tight ends. That's something that's, maybe I'm going to get canceled for that. I don't really care. But yeah, an A pick for that. Next, we have Matt Waletzko. Now, this is interesting for those that don't know. This 5th round pick was actually from the Browns, and this was the Amari Cooper trade. And so Matt Waletzko right now is a F. Again, it's injury, and he hasn't really shown... Well, he's shown a couple things, but it's just the injury crap that's really been a problem. Again, I think that until he's out there and fully proves himself, he's going to be an F. Or you could just say a non-grade at this point. But, dude, you use these picks for certain players. But I think what I remember talking about was the plan was going to be you put Matt Waletzko at left tackle, left guard Tyler Smith, and boom, there you go. But... not that, so I'm going to give that an F. Next is Deron Bland. Deron Bland, I felt, was a solid pick, all things considered, at the time. I'm going to give it a solid B. Deron Bland has definitely been a good player for what you're asking for in a 5th round pick, but I just really think that he has a little bit more room to grow. He showed a lot in the preseason. Don't get it twisted, but he got an interception, and there are moments where he's gotten cooked this year. I'm not going to lie, but I just think that he will get better. But for now, I'm going to give it a solid B with, again, the value and what he's done on the field. Solid B. Next, we move to Damone Clark. Now, Damone Clark, out of all these picks, right, you could say Jake Ferguson. I think Damone Clark's going to be the steal and star of this draft class in the sense of value and his production. Damone Clark realistically was going to be a 3rd to 2nd round pick if injury concern wasn't there. You got him in the 5th round. Dude's been really damn good when he's got playing time, and he's only going to get better. I think that he... And, I hope Jabril Cox can get on the field, but if not, you're going to need to get another young linebacker. But he's definitely got juice to him, and there's a reason why he was coveted. And I think the fact we're seeing him play now, and he's only going to get better. We're getting some production out of him. I'm going to give it a solid A. The same thing why I'm not doing an A+ is because an A+ is reserved for picks like a Micah Parsons or like a first year Ezekiel. Like you need to be doing something obscene, which none of these picks really have done that. But hey, you know what? I'm going to give it a solid A there for right now because I'm looking at the trajectory and the value. John Ridgeway. I'm mad that they got rid of the guy. I think that he was going to be solid for you. They tried to pull some sneaky shit where they were going to be like, oh, let's cut him. We'll bring him back on the waiver wire and the practice squad, but Washington nabbed him up, and he's been looking solid in Washington. F. It's an F pick because you let the go of the guy and he's now on a different team. I'm sorry, and that's no disrespect to John Ridgway. If we're going off the player, I would have given it a B, but it's an F. You let him go. Fucking idiots. And then 6th round pick is Devin Harper. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Devin Harper. I think sometimes on the special teams. So I'm going to just say, it's not like a Matt Waletzko or Jalen Tolbert situation where they haven't been. I'm going to give it a C or incomplete, I guess. I don't know. I should give it to incompletes. People are going to be like, why are you giving him Fs? But look, this is a Cowboys team that they realistically needed to do something here with this draft class if they really wanted to do something in 2022. And so far, a decent chunk of them have been, contributing. Like Tyler Smith, starting left tackle, and soon to be starting left guard. Sam Williams, good rotational player on your defensive line. Jalen Tolbert, we don't talk about him. Jake Ferguson, one of your top 3 tight ends, or really top 2, and he's been fantastic when he gets an open space. Matt Waletzko, unknown right now, injury bug. DaRon Bland, solid pickup and solid, backup, possible solid starter. Damone Clark, possible starter in the making, and maybe, I don't want to say star because it really isn't he hasn't really shown that, but he's shown solid production for a 5th round pick at the linebacker spot. John Ridgway, you let him go, instant F. Doesn't matter. I understand the player is solid, but if you forfeit that draft pick and you cut him, that's an instant F. Devin Harper, I'm going to say C. He's had some things here and there, but really inconclusive. So that kind of goes out to my whole grades for the draft class of 2022 for the Cowboys. What would you think I should have done? Should I maybe have graded a little bit harsher? Am I being too lenient? Please let me know down in the comment section below. But I really hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I'm trying to change stuff up, microphone in hand. I feel a little bit more natural with it, and being more honest with you guys up front. I'm just trying to be real, and on top of that, I'm just trying to play this thing loose because, this is a hobby, and I want to have fun with it. So, thank you guys so much for the support and love. Again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, be a channel member if you want. I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys? Have a good one.